Hello guys, this will be a discussion about the peasantry. You might be thinking like what's happening to your nation, for example, and I mean there's many reasons. And for example, on my nation, I have 20% peasantry, mainly because I have a lot of them in the south here, but I have better the peasantry as well in the north, like Anatolia, Iberia and stuff. And this is just the population map mode, by the way. Anyway, we will go through that, and there's like a lot of things. One big thing is also like disease in 1.2 patch. It's like crazy right now. I've probably lost like 30 million people. Yeah, 30 million people to disease. So that's the first of all, that's the one of the biggest things that actually impacts your population. Second of all, you might be too hardcore about your laborer development, and most of it's probably not your fault because the AI builds a lot of them. That's why some actually it's lagging for me, kind of bad. But you can probably like remove some of these, like for example this one, and these populations will be freed up and they will be converted eventually like to peasantry. You can't. I don't think it works like you can just close them. It might work like that, but I have not tried that. Because if you close burger buildings, they still stay there and everything, like here in the city tab here. But yeah. And then there's like other ways to try to improve it. So there's a lot of disease and people are dying en masse. And you might be thinking, okay, what can I do about that? Like, is there any way to alleviate that? And then one way is to, oh well, die the soldiers. You can see here, became peasants having lost social status. You know, that can also happen when you remove these. They become peasants. Some of them. But yeah, population growth, big thing. Yeah, like you need prosperity, cheap food, and storage. Basically, that's basically it. Biggest ones, and there's a lot of ways to increase prosperity by not taxing the peasantry or having them at 100% satisfaction. Also, you get food production and stability, investment cost reduction. It's not so bad actually. It's not so bad. And you can see I have well, whatever about this one, but there's so many ways you can try to improve that. I still have the nation issues in the nation with peasantry not being able to convert to soldiers because I just have too much development in some regions for labor. Like look at this one, Constantinople is mostly empty, like 20k unemployed. There's no one here, no peasant to really promote either. Here, no peasants really, no soldiers, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. Like where did the peasants go? And that's like some of it is just because of also just disease being stronger. Maybe you need more hospitals, maybe you need more medical schools, lazarettes, things like that. But like one way you could maybe improve it is just to remove some of these laborer. Also like RGOs, honestly. You can see I have only one masonry here. So I need to be removing even RGOs here. Just to get them, demoted to peasantry. Let's see how it goes now. I wonder if he gets straight away demoted to peasantry. Let's see. Might not be like that. But it gets eventually demoted. Yeah, you see? Instantly. Well, what happened to them? I actually don't know. But yeah, eventually they do get demoted. And it gets better. I've been doing that for a while from like 40% to 16%. I demoted and now I got some land with peasants. And it helped me a big time. And when you like peasants, basically population, how they work is that peasantry is the only population that can actually promote. Let's see if we can find a better one. Peasants are the only one that can promote the burghers, clerics, nobles, laborers, or soldiers if a location can support those types. And for example, peasants can't be promoted to like peasantry or anything else. They can be demoted, yes, but they can't be promoted like peasantry. So these people are actually very important to man these soldiers. Like once you spend them. So if you go for like long campaigns, long wars, eventually gonna be spent. Like you can see, my regimental camps completely empty. I have no peasantry to speak of either. I have a lot of RGO. You can see, like, what is it per employment here? 15,000 in wheat, 20,000 in these ones. On these ones, actually, it's 20,000 combined with this RGO. You can see kind of like where the peasantry are. They're just working, you know. So a lot of these you can't really go for anymore. You just can't. You just can't. It's impossible. Yeah, so you can see that sometimes overdevelopment is like bad. Just because simply you don't have enough. Like I should be having, if I'm being honest, okay, before this war I had like 4%, almost 4% soldiers. We went against Malmix and we killed like 2 million soldiers. And now it's reduced to like 2.8, and it's really bad then because it starts to suffer with the recovery for like levy forces here, and eventually this monthly manpower will be pretty much like 0 if it goes too bad. So that's like a negative effect with lack of peasantry, because they're unable. There's no one able to promote to a soldier, and then you get like complete screwed here. And that's a really bad thing, by the way. Especially if you want to go for long campaigns, like long warfare. You want to have a sustainable war machine, you know. And when you don't have one, it's a really bad effect. Eventually it gets so bad, your castles are completely empty, they can just siege over. I can see some of these buildings are just empty. Castles, none of this is actually manned. But eventually it gets so bad, these are actually empty. And it's really bad. You can see here, this castle is completely empty. So I think also I will be starting to demote some of these RGOs, unfortunately. Just because I can't have as many RGOs like I did in 1.2 patch. I think it's partially or maybe entirely onto the disease mechanic right now. How it affects your people. You can see I've had the plague basically twice here after the death plague, and it's been very devastating for my population. And even then I've had multiple at the same time during these bubonic plagues or any other ones. But yeah, this is that for this video. That's it for my video for now today. This was just a random topic I thought about, like how can you get more peasantry, what's happening to your manpower, why aren't you having any monthly manpower getting like per month ticks. Just basically it. You basically spent all your soldiers and you have no one to replace them with. There are no peasants to promote to soldiers basically. And you need to find ways to improve that by reducing, as I said, laborers. You're basically too developed in some ways, you could say. And you need to have some peasantry. You can't just have, you can see it's crazy. Look at that. 43 million laborers. That's absolutely bonkers, if I'm being honest. So, yeah. Reduce your development, reduce some of the RGOs. It's the only way you can have a functioning army. Long-term campaigns, especially if you want to go for like a lot of expansions, which you might want to do as Roman Empire, by the way. But yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like it and subscribe, and stay tuned for my live streams. And if you haven't already, make sure to join my Discord server, which you can find a link in my YouTube channel. And that would be awesome. And that's all for today. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye.